Here we go. On the next video.
On the next video?
Yeah. Next
Sing some
video.
Michael Jackson?
Michael Jackson. Third video will be a little dancing. Michael Jackson singing, Michael Jackson dancing. Ain't no bullshit. Man's gotta pay the rent. But on this video, we're still gapping doors. So we're going smooth because all the inner fenders and everything's smooth. So we opted to go the smooth route. Hopefully it's the best route.
You tacking the whole thing in now?
Huh?
You tacking the whole thing in?
Yeah, I go through, I cut it all. So now I just go through and tack the two pieces of metal together to hold it in place with the MIG. I'll grind the MIG down. Now the metal won't move and we can focus on doing the TIG and blend it all in with the TIG weld. Little process. Welding all these fucking seams and all this shit, all the holes, any hole, bolt hole, every fucking thing. Boxed all this in, tapered this down, filled in all the holes here, cut the wrinkles out of there, and welding around every little metal edge off. What that? It looks like a fucking mud dauber nest out of metal.
This one got something like that, but I don't know what it is.
Split. Alright, there's some rust in this corner. Dirty job up here.
Yeah. Gets on your hair too. I don't have hair.
Gets all on your skin.
But on my head.
Yeah. This is fairly tight.
Yeah, I might have to take a little bit off.
It's like it's screwed. Remember, if you look at it, it's already tapered. It's tapering.
Yeah.
Right up in
So
here.
that
By the
probably
time
won't
we
burn.
take away, and then I told him this is gonna get added too. Like this right here is already battered in here. Yeah. So if we come over that corner and tightened up that top, this will all be a little fatter. Then I'd leave this door edge alone. And I'd cut this on this arch through here. I'd bring it fatter and then take this a little skinnier. So it's already tapering down anyway. Yeah. So a lot of the work's going to be on the body here, door here, take away a hair here.
Then we're good.
Because it's already fat. Right. Then I think we'd get away with this. Just taper going. Just leave that. Yeah. This front damping was bad. And then whatever down here, I didn't even look.
That just needs some grinding at this point. I think.
Yeah, it's like
It's a little shy right there.
this probably still a little tight on the tool. The whole thing needs to be
Right,
flattened out.
exactly.
That's what my quick look is, just because of this. This is what was scary.
These trucks, I think, were all this is just crazy. Stamping waves and that.
Wow.
There's just so many body line, all stacked up that we might get lucky on this door that way. I don't know about the other door. So working on this old Ford truck cab, and we're gapping the doors. What we want is the same gap all the way down and all the way around. So these gaps were really tight. I had to open them up. Got a gapping tool here. The gapping tool, you want it to fit in nice and tight. Do the same all the way around. When we got to the top of the door, it was very loose. So instead of taking metal away, we had to add metal. So what I'm doing is I'm building a little door extension on the top. So now the same gap, those 3/16, it'll go up and around and all the way around and back down. So the gap will be the same all the way around the door. We call it gapping the body. So when somebody says, oh, all the gaps look nice on that hot rod, that's what they're talking about, is all your door gap. When our door gaps and our hood gap, our tailgate gap, or our trunk gap, all of them to be the same. That's just a little like a quality thing. If you went through a gapping process on building your car or something, it's in your head. When you come up to a car and you look at it, your eye goes to the gaps because you dealt with that before. Now that you're hearing me say this, you may look at the car next to your car or something at a car show and look at their gap. And as soon as you see a fender, the gap's coming down and gets tight at the bottom or tight at the top, or fenders and the doors don't line up good, those are bad gaps. And then you're gonna be like, that's what he's talking about. And then you'll start to see a difference between a nice car and a really nice car just by the gaps. So back on this, we got this fitting nice and it's too tight at the top. Now that I put that little piece of metal on there, I'll grind that metal down so that it's got the same gap all the way around, moving around through these corners. Then we'll have to do the hood as well. Tailgate, all of that. Everything got to have the same gap, and this is the gap that we go for, 3/16. So working on 56 Ford, and 56 Ford's a nice curvy body, but all of a sudden they put two square corners on. This was a square corner and that was a square corner. But if you look at the back corner, it's nice and round, and everything else is nice and round. Round corners everywhere. So what we did in the custom world, we're rounding the corners off. So if you round the door edge, then you got to come back and fill in and round the body edge. So we made little metal pieces, put them in there and gapped the metal pieces, and then had to do a filler. The body side's a lot more complex work than the door side, but they both got to go and be a tongue and groove match.
We like them round, big, like a juicy.
Front end on, finish finish that up. Get some cab vents, we can put the bed back on.
Today, the Fender is with the bed on, put the front clip on. There's a whole bunch of little jobs to do with both of them. We'll work through those, and then the front clip will stay on, the bed will stay on, and it'll then look like a truck. And then we'll just work on some bumper stuff, mount battery, fuse box, AC stuff, just pre-mock up everything for holes and lines and all that. All that shit will come back out so that it can go to the body shop, but all those holes will get painted and everything. We won't be messing paint up when we get it back. So a lot of mock-up stuff today. Other than the bed and the front end, they'll stay on and it'll look like a truck again. We finally got the cab done. Everything we're doing to the cab's done. Now just fit and finish on the front end. All these coming out, we gotta well all these holes. You're using the bolts to hold it in, right?
Yeah,
So
I just got the nuts or the clecos in there to align them. This flange. Clecoed in too. Yeah, I gotta get this hood on here and get it gapped. We'll have to go around and check and make sure our gaps are okay. If not, we're gonna have to adjust them all, so. Which is normally what happens. Go around the fenders and the cowl. First we'll just get it fitting in the hole.
panel go behind the seat, hold fuse box, whatever other electronic things. Then you got to get under the dash, try to change a fuse, and just roll the seat up, check out whatever, something may be going wrong. Put the seat back, get on your way. That's what we'll call it. Making a convenience package.
There you go.
Yeah, sell that sizzle, you know what I'm saying?
Space down there now. By the time all that's bodywork and painted, I think it'll look okay. It'll all be gloss black.
Yeah.
Well, you want to set the seat in there? Take a look at that.
This part is cool, but there's a lot of foam on it. You know, like,
Probably get rid of some of that crap. You want to gut the pull the seat apart.
Yeah.
You know, the next day or so, whatever, we can throw it back in and take another look. What did you say? It like double click? Oh, what is that? Why did you?
it's kind of the way it like slides over itself.
Huh?
It doesn't latch or anything, but it's like, it's not a piece of metal, it slides over a pipe.
Oh, I see.
But it had like a safety thing in it that didn't let it fly forward,
Yeah,
but there was no release for it.
yeah.
We were just touching around and all of a sudden it would move, and sometimes it would.
Yeah, I think just being able to tilt it forward's fine, like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the seat's never gonna push you forward. If
No.
you slam on the brakes or you're flying forward, then
Right.
the seat may go forward.
Yeah.
The bottom ain't gonna
Finalizing the inner fenders here. Well, the flange on here and a flange on this leg down here, so we'll be able to run a bolt through that flange into the floor.
That'll hold it secure.
Yeah, and that'll hold this here. I've already got mounts up here, so. And I gotta adjust my gap a little bit here is off, so to split this panel and redo that. We're just changing out all these bolts to these rad bolts so we can go to the body shop. Like you can see right here, this one doesn't quite cover the slot, so we're going to take this off and weld this up. So the washer covers the whole slot. Doesn't look bad. So fun, it's like a lot more twist and turn than you think.
A lot more twists and turns, but in one spot.
These back windows never fit right.
Oh. A lot of these old trucks is just like farm equipment, so they never had the fit and finish ones, especially of today's cars. You know, you get used to today's cars, and even 70s muscle cars. They started creating nice pieces for people to buy. When it was trucks in the 50s, all the way up into the early to late 60s, it was more equipment. You bought a truck for construction or for around the farm. You didn't worry about how pretty the glass fit or how nice the door gaps were, nor did the factory. They didn't make the fit and finish like they do now. So when we get our hands on them, now we got to try and finesse all that and make all that pretty like we see in everything today. To today's standard, some of them gets a little bit challenging, some of them's not too bad. This one's a little more difficult. It's just a lot of blind stuff. We're blind because you put the glass in and you see that the glass don't fit. But when you take the glass out, it's no longer there for us to figure out what we got to do to make it fit. We could make all of this stuff and put the glass back in, and now the glass don't fit because we got too much metal in the way. So we got to sneak up on it. So what we're going to do is we'll get this all in, lined up on these line marks. That's where I know where the valley is. We'll get it all tacked in. We'll have to put the glass in again, make sure it's good, do some tapping or grinding, finessing it. Then we'll take the glass out and go to the next step, get that tacked in, put the glass back in, make sure that's good. Otherwise, we'll do all the work, get it all done, and it'd be too tight and the glass will never go in. So we don't want to over make it, but we don't want to under make it and still have a hole either. So it's just kind of shot in the dark a little bit.
Fucking metal never bends like the cardboard. I mean,
When you get it into the metal, you're like, damn, it had a lot of twisting.
yeah, exactly. It's like cardboard flexes differently than the metal. Get you in a rough ballpark.
lay it all the way in flat. Right, supposed to be.
Okay, so that's the last of the fabrication on the Fat Jack truck. I want to give a little bit more insight on what's going to be happening with this truck. The owner of this truck also owns the 68 Charger behind me. We are working on both of these vehicles at the same time. We have decided to debut both of these vehicles in their final state at the Grand National Roadster Show. This show is the first week of February, so these aren't going to be shown anymore online until after the show. So late February, you can expect to see more content on these two. I will have more content on the Charger behind me up until we're finished with the fabrication. If you're not familiar with this show, it is awesome. It's some of the coolest street rods, trucks, customs. It's awesome. It's going to be a lot of fun. So in the rules, we cannot show it in its finished state until after the show. So there's going to be kind of a media blockout. I wanted to give everybody a heads up before you attack me in the comments where more content is of this truck. It'll be coming up in 5 or 6 months. So stay tuned. Thanks again for watching. You guys are amazing. Like, comment, subscribe. And if you really want to help the channel out, please buy some merch down below. And see you later.